Hey Chopper, this viewer's not subscribed.
Car D Kaizoku.
This video is brought to you by Adakai TCG. Shop the latest in premium holographic textured custom One Piece cards. Designed for collectors, crafted to stand out. Use code Kaizoku for 15% off your next order. This video is sponsored by gumgum.gg. Discover Western OP10 lists and Eastern OP11 lists on gumgum.gg. Updated daily. Be the first to see decks for new leaders as they emerge. With over 1,000 deck lists per set, gumgum.gg has all the top strategies as soon as they drop. This video is sponsored by Card Market, Europe's largest online marketplace for trading card games. Alrighty, we're going to be taking a look at the state of EB02 so far in the West. It has only been a couple of days, but it has been about 2 weeks since it's been available on the sim, at the very least. And yeah, I have a website built out that has a bunch of stats on EB02, but before we hard transition to my website, we'll take a look at how we used to look at these stats. So current rank sim data, I do think they just did like a rank reset, so a lot of these numbers are really low just because no one's 1 billion bounty anymore. It resets, everyone's like starting over from fresh, I think. So yeah, their data shows that Red Purple Luffy is the #1 deck at the moment, followed by Green Purple, followed by Nami, Bello Betty, Enel, Shanks, Blackbeard, Red Green Smoker, Lucci, and then Bonnie makes up your top 10 there. But yeah, again, take this with a grain of salt. They just did a rank reset. Everyone has to reclimb back to their old ranking, I guess. I guess I could take a look at just last week in general. Yeah, this one looks like it didn't reset. I don't know, but it's not my data. I'm just reporting on it. So yeah, Enel is the first place deck here, followed by Shanks, Green Purple, Luffy, Bonnie, Bello Betty, Zoro, Teach, Lucci, Red Purple Luffy, and Lim. This one seems more in line with what I expect. Enel has been making a killing on the sim. With the lessening in popularity of Teach due to Green Purple Luffy, Enel is a lot more comfortable in there. Even though he did lose Kingdom Come, it was really mainly against like Shanks and Blackbeard that he needed it against. And then now he even has that new Enel that can bypass the on-play healing that Blackbeard negates, right? He can heal when attacking, and he has Rush too. Yep, perfectly makes sense that Enel is showing such a strong grasp at the top of the leaderboard in the very beginning. I'm pretty sure many people forgot how to play against Enel since he's been gone from the meta for a set or two now. But I do expect him to wane as the meta progresses. But yeah, Green Purple Luffy isn't as dominating, as menacing as people were hyping him up to be. Still a top 5 deck, right? He's #3 here, even in like the reset data. He was #2. So yeah, a top meta deck, just not like the BDIF like he was in the East. And I do think it's just because we had a lot more time to figure out how his deck worked and how to play against it, right? Lucci is like an amazing counter to him. We saw Red Green Smoker in the Japan finals destroy a Green Purple Luffy. So yeah, we take all the learnings from the East. They had like a fresh Green Purple Luffy that they didn't know how to deal with it at first, right? That was their meta. And then yeah, it looks like he's not as menacing in the West just because we had time to figure him out, basically. So once we're on that synchronized release schedule, these things aren't going to happen anymore. We're not going to get those like 4 to 5 to 6 extra months of practice against a particular leader. So it'll be interesting when that time comes around to see if, even despite the simultaneous release schedule, if like problems in the East are going to be the same problems that are going to show up in the West. But yeah, that's the rankings with the rank sim data. This is data that is only aggregated from people who, one, download the rank sim, start it up, boot it up, make an account, queue up, and then play and climb. On my website, it's a lot more holistic. I have every sim game logged here. So if you go to the match history tab, we'll look at the leader rankings. I have that too. So for the entirety of EB02 on the sim, my stats show that Shanks is #1, followed by Enel, then Green Purple Luffy, Bonnie, Black Lucci, Piss Kid, Yellow Katakuri, Red Zoro, Red Yellow Bello Betty, and then Lim makes your top 10 here. But yeah, you do have to understand that this is not ranked data, right? This is everyone who's playing. It's not people who are like sweating and tryharding. So you can expect to see some differences. Like the easy decks like Shanks are definitely going to show up a lot higher. Meanwhile, the complicated decks like Teach is like 14th overall on the sim. Yeah, I still think this provides a lot of great insight too. And you get to see a bunch of like less popular leaders that people don't play on ranked at all, right? You're not going to see too many like Rosinantes on ranked, but I have 13,000 games logged of stats that you can look at. So that's one of the benefits of what I have on my site. And yet we see some of the same trends, right? At least the top 3 is Shanks, Enel, and Green Purple Luffy. That's the same between both of our stats. So we can take a look at the details of Green Purple Luffy since he's the newest leader. So if you click the leader portrait here, it takes you to the stats page. So it shows their matchups here against however many leaders I set here to make it fit on screen nicely. And it shows their like overall going first win rate and their overall going second win rate. But also, depending on the matchup, you want to go first or second. Changes, right? It depends. It looks like here against like Usopp going second is better, but against Blackbeard going first is better. So this is some insight you can get from this page here. And here are the cards that most people keep in their starting hand. So you're going to want to find that Sanji and Pudding, ASAP. You're going to want to find your searchers. And then against Black, you're going to need the stage card. Zorojuro also helps you find any of these cards here. So does the event searcher. And then against certain matchups, this Zoro from EB02 can get rid of pesky targets. Right, you can tap a Kuzan early on and get rid of it before I can -4 your Sanji and Pudding. But yeah, his matchup spread, yeah, it's pretty decent. Right, he's good into about half of his top matchups here. Going even with a couple decks, right? I would consider 49 pretty much equal. It could be chalked up to like a rounding error in the end. So yeah, Enel, Piss Kid, and Lim goes even with them. Yeah, his losing matchups are against Lucci and Bonnie. I guess that 8-cost Kid Fortress can stop him pretty well. Same with the Smoker. We saw that in practice in the Japan finals. But yeah, because he has such a commanding win rate, 63% on average against Blackbeard, that knocked him quite low into the meta, allowing Enel to rise up again, as we mentioned earlier. And if you want it to be more granular, you can see like last week's stats too, or even yesterday, if that matters. And you can even see how he does in OP11, just as a quick preview. Right, he does well into Blue Purple Luffy, actually. That's something to note. He has like pretty good matchups in OP11 compared to EB02. Yeah, you can even switch leaders from this page. You don't have to go back to the last page to switch leaders. So let's see, who do we want to look at? Well, I'm a Purple Luffy fan, so let's check out Purple Luffy real quick. Yeah, a weighted win rate of 48.5%. He wins more going first than going second. His matchup spread is a little worse now than it was before, just because he does have a losing matchup in the Green-Purple, losing matchup in the Bello Betty. Those are his two worst matchups, but really good matchup into Usopp and Teach. And then one feature I like on my site is that you can take a look at the specific matchups. So let's say you wanted to take a look at Purple Luffy versus Bello Betty here. So this is like a dedicated page that just shows you the going first, going second win rate, how many matches, the sample size I'm calculating this based off of is. And then it also lists potential tech cards based off a formula that I wrote. So against Bello Betty, it looks like Kamazo. Kamazo is a good tech card, right? You kill their searcher Bello Betties, they become 5k attacks. If they Karasu you, they're going to be like attacks you need to spend a 2k to defend against, because you're going to be a 4k life leader. Having a blocker kid out early is good against their deck. The Frankie is good, I guess. Just being able to rush attack back into one of his like searchers, or like the Kumas or the Koalas he plays early, is great at relieving pressure. You have so many attacks you can throw each turn at their weenies. You want to prevent as many of those being able to attack back into you the next turn as you can. And yeah, of course, Gungam Giant. This is probably a tech card into every deck, to be honest. But yeah, Luffy Taro too, just cheating out bodies to potentially race back against them. We could take a look at another one here. So against Bonnie, we see that the starter deck 10 Law is a great tech card, right? Bonnie tries to go big in hand size to get all the counter they can to protect their 8-cost kid. Starter deck 10 Law denies 2 cards out of their hand from that. Gamma Knife also basically auto kills the 8-cost kid and makes it into like what, a 3k attack body. Your leader can swing 5k over it. They'll have to block or counter like 2 cards to save it. Of course, Gungam Giant is going to show up here. Nine Mom, also great at getting rid of stuff like their Cavendish or like their carrots and stuff. So yeah, a lot of cool insights that you can see. The formula works better in losing matchups just because of the nature of what a tech card is. It helps you in your losing matchups. If it's a winning matchup, like every card in your deck is good against the weak deck, right? So there's that nuance to take note of. We could take a look at Enel's matchup spreads too, just because we're curious. He's been doing pretty well on the ranked ladder and on the sim in general. So yeah, it has a positive matchup into like a lot of things here. Mostly going second though. His going second matchup is like incredibly high. His going first matchup isn't as high against some of these decks, right? He actually has like a losing matchup in the Green Smoker and Lim. So that's really interesting. I guess you want to hit 10 on curve, right? Or else you die. It's that pivotal turn. But yeah, still kind of dice to Blackbeard, but not as much, 49%. His weakest matchup being Bonnie here. And then we'll take a look at Lucci too. And this will be it for the stats. So Lucci has a better going second win rate, has a pretty decent matchup spread, right? He's good into Doflamingo, good into Bonnie, Red Green Smoker, Bello Betty, Piss Kid, Green Purple, as we mentioned earlier. Good into Luffy now. I think the current builds run a lot of like Kuzan and Laboons, which yeah, can kill up to like a Luffy Taro pretty easily. Like 7 cost is like the threshold of stuff to kill at the moment. But yeah, loses to Usopp and Blackbeard. This has always been true. Like it's nearly impossible to win against Usopp in my experience, and Blackbeard as well. So yeah, that's understandable. Shanks can be teched around, but I guess a lot more Shanks are playing more aggro these days, so that might be a detriment for Lucci players. Okay, let's take a look at the tech cards into Usopp. Maybe we can get some insights here. Okay, 9 cost Kaido does kill like their Kairos with your leader ability, so I guess that makes sense. Rebecca's just good in general. These are just generic Lucci cards against Usopp. I guess there's really no saving this matchup besides Kaido. How about against Blackbeard? Is it Jack and Kaido? Oh, so yeah, this is an interesting tech. Right, this Tashigi from the Smoker starter deck. You don't get the -4 cost, but you can trash a 0 cost character, which is their 4 cost Jesus Burgess, right? He can't be KO'd, but he can be trashed, so this is a way to do it with this Tashigi. And then you just have to hope you muster up all the cost reduction with your other cards to make use of the Tashigi, because yeah, the Tashigi can't provide you that -4 cost because you're not a Smoker leader. And then Sabo is good to defend against, I guess, the dot Qs, right? When they ban Augur dot Q, this can stop that. Getting a random Who's Who trigger can also pop their Lafitte's and their Vasco shots and stuff like that. Yeah, and of course, Kaido also deals with Jesus Burgess really well. But yeah, it looks like if you're going against Blackbeard, if you go first, you have like almost 9% better win rate. So try to go first if you can. And if you're wondering why the title bar keeps shifting, it's because I changed the CSS behind it, but I have to like hard refresh each page because it's cached. So don't mind if you see it moving left and right. I try to make it center. I also have like the matchup tables that shows the entire matchup breakdown. If you want to see it this way, right, you can see the holistic look at all the leaders against every other leader. So here's that if you need it. So we also have mirror match statistics. This is similar to what I used to measure on the ranked dashboard. It's how risky it is to bring a deck to a tournament potentially based on the play rate of the deck and how many mirrors you're going to encounter. Because there's a lot of mirrors that come down to like the coin flip, right? As we can see here, Lim, for example, makes up 4.95% of the games played. Not too high, but like a pretty respectable number. But the variance between going first versus going second in the mirror is 46%, right? You win 73% of the time going first versus 26% of the time going second. That gives her a mirror risk score of 18.51%. That is incredibly risky, right? Your match comes down to basically a 50-50 coin flip at the start of the game in this case, and we don't like that. So this helps you like kind of judge whether you want to bring this to a tournament or not. Then right after that, we have Purple Luffy at 16.93% riskiness. Yeah, 36% variance in win rates. And then Green Purple Luffy as well. Just every purple deck, it looks like. And then Smoker after that, Red Green Smoker has a 22.7% variance. Enel also has a pretty decent variance here at 17%. Followed by Red Purple Luffy. And then the starter deck 21 Luffy, where you want to go first. Usopp also you want to go first. This is a pretty big variance actually. Bello Betty 2, you want to go first. Green Yellow Yamato, you want to go first. Purple Yellow Robin, you want to go first. A lot of these decks you want to go first, huh? That's very interesting. Yeah, I just released this page, so this is my first time looking at the stats too. So Boogie's variance is incredibly high, but the fact that like no one's playing him, right? He has a 1.49% share of the games played. You're less likely to run into the mirror, but if you do run into the mirror, it's pretty sad, right? 40%. This might be the highest that we've seen so far. Oh no, Lim was higher. Yeah, some of the safest decks to play would be near the bottom, right? Like Carrot's pretty safe. What's another one with the high play rate? Green Yellow Law, pretty safe, right? It's almost 50-50, and then there's quite a decent chunk of Green Yellow Law players. Smoker as well. So yeah, there's this page too if you need it. And then I also added like a player rankings page. So this is top players by leader, in case you wanted to, I don't know, flex your ego, right? The top Red Green Odin player at the moment is Help Me. And this is their win rate. It's 45/54. So they have an 83% raw win rate, but then I also weight it based on how many games they played. So it's weighted down to 65 here, just so that like the person who won 1 out of the 1 games he's played on Red Green Odin doesn't show up on the top at 100%, you know? So let's take a look at, I'm curious about Purple Luffy. Who's the best Purple Luffy player? Well, Bello Betty 2, E-Racer. And then Like That Hero is second, and then Leroux. Bello Guy is number 4. He should be number 1. Come on, Bello Guy. You gotta step it up. Play more games. I think that's probably what's keeping him down here, right? Just he has less games played than the others. Purple Luffy's number 1 player is Pirate25421. Doesn't even have a name. And then Guareno 2 and Deltaraz. And if any of you people are watching this video, then I called out your name, let me know in the comments below. Just want to know if these dedicated one tricks are also fans of mine or not. Oh, the top Enel player is your mama is on OF. Okay. What else do we want to see? Shanks? You want to see Shanks? I'll show you Shanks. Straw Hat Customs. It almost looks like Straw What? And then the top Lim player is Soloist TCG. Top Boogie player is Sats Lee. And then top purple-black Luffy player is Pugtaro, and then top Robin player is Call Me Daddy. The top Blackbeard player is Pirate32731. Doesn't even have a name. OP10 practice does pretty well. He's number 6. That's a lot of practice. Who else? You want to see green purple Luffy? I'll show you green purple Luffy. Top player is Pirate64493, followed by Pablo, followed by Uriel Penguin. Dang, Pablo has a 100% win rate with green purple, and then Penguin has like 1 loss. That's what's setting him as 3rd instead of 2nd. Dang, that's very, very consistent. Who else want to look at? 07 had a lot of popular leaders, right? Bonnie, top Bonnie player is No Sana No Life. Hey, twice. Well, I guess he's not shy about it. Maple Story's here. Oh my god. Let's see. Lucci Peligro is the top Lucci player, followed by a Tenryubito. Toxic ass leader. I wonder, yeah, I'm gonna do like an analysis and post on Twitter later of the leaders with the most Tenryubitos who fall under the player statistics, just to see what's the most toxic leader, or which leaders toxic players gravitate to. And then the top Vegapunk player is Pirate67808, followed by Giga Pirate, followed by From the Caves, who has a lot of games, 239. Dang, you're crazy. He's played that many games and got a 77% win rate. But then Giga Pirate has a 100% win rate at 66 games only. 67. This is also my first time diving into this data too, so what else? I'm curious. I want to see one more. Who should I see? We'll just look at all sets and then stop at a leader that we find interesting. Zoro? Dis, Gatsu, and Guifanani are the top 3 Zoro players. For now, it'll update daily, so if you want to show up on this leaderboard, you better start grinding. Oh, Doflamingo, Tiki Taco, Plays, and Bex. Didn't we see Bex in another leader's top? This guy plays a lot. Maybe. I could have sworn I saw this name somewhere else. I guess we could look it up, because I also have like a match history feature in case you guys didn't know. So we'll look up Bex. Yeah, I do this sometimes to people who like BM me. I look up their match history and see how bad they are. They play a lot of Blackbeard. This is probably where we saw it, right? So OP09. Yeah, Bex was here. Dang, he's a 2-trick pony. All right, is that every page from the match history tab here? I think so. So yeah, I guess that's it for the video. Showing you off every feature on my website. You can access it via cardkaizoku.com. There's also a market dashboard here as well. And then, yeah, I hope the effort I put into building all these tools came through in the video, right? I had a lot of cool things to show, so I hope you found it interesting. Let me know if you guys have any feedback as well. Yeah, I guess that's it for this video. Until next time, bye. Also, quick question. Do you guys want to see like deck lists from the stats that I've gathered? I just wasn't sure if it's cool or not to do that, if like people want their deck list shown on video, because yeah, I know some people have like secret deck lists or something. I don't know, but if people don't care in the end, yeah, I'll be glad to show that. I just didn't want people to get mad at me, but yeah, let me know in the comments.
Kaizoku.